Hey people, Inquisitor 53 Faction War. This is Fend Unlock Winter and Eldar versus Imperial Guard. For the blue Eldar team, Novacyt is a Warlock, a melee spellcaster that leaps into combat for some powerful disruption and support. Looks like the Harlequin's elite scheme. Is it recolored? I don't know, they're all very colourful. Alongside is the Tenso's Warp Spider Exarch, a teleporting hero fighting in ranged combat. Great for capping and harassing with some powerful control. Teleports to that central VP there. Same Han elite scheme with the fuzz. Rounding off the team is Angel with a Farseer support hero fighting in melee. Some powerful buffs and control. The Oathway DLC scheme here. Red Imperial Guard. Dice roll rocking a Lord Commissar. Strong offense and support fighting in melee. Begins with a refractor shield. There he goes, waving his sword around. Alongside, MUERTE is a Inquisitor, offensive hero with powerful control abilities, begins in melee but can get specialized ranged weapons. MUERTE not interested in looking at stuff. And rounding off the teams, oLev with a Lord General fighting in ranged combat. Begins with a retinue of stormtroopers, really strong defense and support. Can also add to the retinue. Good to see oLev back. We have contested VPs all the way through, running east, center here, and west. West has turned blue. Triple Guardians up for Novacyt, trying to split and avoid the ground pound. Nicely done. Maybe they could get a grenade up with battle. Oh, battle equipment is in here. Those guardsmen might need to flee. There's a stomp on the Warlock, but down goes the Sentinel. Lord Commissar now in amongst the Guardians. They did not throw their grenade. They're out of there. Warlock still in play. Have they used? They must have used a Destructor already. Okay. Looks like it might end up with a hero versus hero fight here, unless the guardsmen... Nope, they're not going to stick around. Oh, Lord Commissar's not interested in the Warlock. He's off to decap this contested wreck point. Meanwhile, Warlock going to go forward cap. Could even get this power here. Looks like they're going towards the wreck point, though. In the mid, Inquisitor fighting off some Guardians who push through. East side, uncapped. Farseer in amongst some guardsmen. Sentinel here does not have the ground pound, but shot the crap out of those Guardians. Those were guided Guardians. Guide is the starting ability of the Farseer, where one of them also starts with Fleet of Foot. Just backing away from the Sentinel now. Mid turns blue for the Eldar. Got some battle equipment Guardians, got some Howling Banshees, and of course that Warp Spider Exarch can teleporting and tie up those guardsmen in melee. Hammer of the Witches on the Banshee's face. And they get in there. Big threat to low-level heroes. Inquisitor couldn't stick around. Unless maybe she got a special attack immediately or something. There's that Warp Spider Exarch. Guardians getting awfully close to death. Looking for a grenade. There's a stomp though. There's the grenade throw. Nope. Tried to fake it out. There's the grenade throw, but they stuck around way too long. I think they're going to go down. It was a good grenade. Can they be saved? They were saved. Down to 4 hit points. They get away. And that was a juicy grenade. Guardsman here down to 2 models. Catachans on the way for dice roll. oLev with Catachan Devils on the field. Versatile infantry with shotguns, a grenade launcher, improvised explosives, and a smoke grenade. Sergeant up now for the Lord General. Can hand medical packs out to allied units. Healing, I think, is it 100 health per model? You can hand them out to heroes, but a 100 health heal isn't huge. I guess it's something. Not sure what the cooldown is on that. Artillery spotters on the way from MUERTE. Double shurikens up for the Tenso. And they've pushed up to this wreck point. They haven't decapped it though. And on the power here is Novacyt. Pinned back the Imperial Guard. What is this though? Power bash is what it is. Well done oLev. Levels up the Lord General. Southeast power here, natural for the Eldar. Here we see the central natural power for the Guard. Get the Guardians out of there. Big force coming in. Artillery spotters to disrupt the Shuriken. The Catachans can disrupt the other one, perhaps, with a grenade launcher shot. Don't see it yet. Oh, they're moving. The Guardians got caught moving. The Guardian weapon team, I should say, got caught moving. Here's the Howling Banshees. 500 to 310 on the VPs. There's a double cap. Guardsman backing away, trying to find some cover positions maybe. Dodged the grenade nicely. Do you have ground pound, sir? You do. You're getting shot to hell, though, by the Guardian weapon team. They managed to stay in play. Immolate from the Immolator. Those guys forced to back off, or they would have taken tons of damage. Lord Commissar still stuck back there with a power sword. Runs away now. Guardsmen trying to flank around. They got rid of the shuriken, although the artillery spotters might have been able to do that by themselves. These Guardians are kind of cut off. But they have the Warlock and they have the shuriken still here. Really far forward, these guys. On that power. These guys need to turn and deal with it, surely. Some repairs for the Sentinel, retaking the VP. Inquisitor needs to turn around and deal with this stuff. Get the Hammer of the Witches on that Warlock or something. Gens going back up. In fact, were they ever built here? Yeah, they were. This is the mid. Northwest. I'm not sure they were ever built on the northwest. They also have the northeast power, of course, built up. So you can get 3 natural powers built up on this map, which is probably overkill from the vast majority of builds, but it allows you to spread your gens out at least, which could be beneficial. There's grenade launcher. Smoke shell goes in after it. There's the Immolate. Warlock goes down. Need to avoid the fire. Inquisitor stands in it. Okay, I think they finally forced off Novacyt. There's still some stuff in play, but they are backing away. 2 gens going up in the northwest. This power's now red. A bunch of dead stuff here. What happened? Bunch of dead Guardians, looks like. Looks like they didn't fully die, though. Since everyone still has... Well, Angel still has the 3 Guardian squads. Shuriken got blasted up. Now sets up to try and suppress this Lord General, but here comes a stomp. Nicely done. Gets rid of the Shuriken. 467 to 240 on the VPs. 2-to-1 cap for the Imperial Guard, but they have a bunch of VPs to make up here. They do get their tier 2s rolling. Pathogen's making a big difference. Able to disrupt these lines. Sentinel's still doing a decent job. This last Sentinel here for MUERTE. Can push alongside it. Hammer of the Witches on the actual cannon there. She's very low though. The Inquisitor needs to be careful. Warp Spider Exarch coming in. Not sure what his default DPS is, this guy. But he can put out some actually decent damage when he gets some upgrades. Improved targeters and the like. Those guys dodge a grenade, but a shuriken might force them to have to run here. There's another grenade, gets them out of cover, which makes them easier to suppress, and away they go. Eldar looking quite fluid here. Multi-laser turret up in the mid. There is a garrison on both sides, yeah. Oh, they didn't quite get around the firing arc of the multi-laser turret, but there was also a sentinel there anyway. Now has missile launcher in play. 419 to 234. Still the 2-to-1 cap for the guard, but they're very much on the back foot in these fights. Stormtroopers on the field now for oLev. That burst damage. oLev did drop some guardsmen around, and crack shot is up on the Warp Spider Exarch. There you see it, giving range and damage. Global ability of the Warp Spider Exarch. Got Judgment up on these Guardians. Inferno Pistol is an interesting choice right out the gate in Tier 2. Powerful weapon, but you had to spend a lot on it. And the Liber Heresius also. Doombringer in the hands of the Farseer, looks like. Yes, it is. Novacyt with Wraithguard. Typically a good pull for the Eldar against Imperial Guard. Get some Wraithguard up. Webway up in the mid. Banshee's having to retreat. Yep, Wraithguard can hit the field for Novacyt, who is the Western player. Hatachan's capping. Maybe something else should be capping. They could be putting their improvised explosive up. Or down, I guess. There's an incendiary shell from the spotters. And a well-timed grenade launcher barrage. Because I think that wasted the Warlock's energy there. He tried to do Destructor. Now it's to spend energy to do it again. It was a decent Destructor though. Hit those Catachans 403 to 211. What is this? Yeah, oLev's done well on this east side. I mean, they've lost stuff, but they put pressure on that power, and they continue to pressure it. The mid is now red. Can the guard stabilize here? Lord General with melter guns, level 3. His retinue also get the melter guns, which is handy. Anti-everything weapon from close range. And the Tenso has a Wraith Lord on the way. They do have little bits of anti-vehicle, as we've seen. Inferno Pistol, those melter guns. Catechins can get a melter gun with their Sarge as well. Tier 3 for Dice Roll and Tier 3 for oLev. Okay then. 359 to 211 is a triple cap for the Imperial Guard. Can they swing this around? I mean, they've started to, but the Tier 3s, I don't know about those Tier 3s. Can they get quick Leman Russes up to make that worth it? That multi-laser turret continues to do work. Here's a bit of a flank from the Tenso. Grenades, looking for grenades. They might double grenade the turret, which I think takes it out. There it is. Yep, down goes the turret. Wraith Lord in play with that very impressive looking Ghost Glaive sword. Got a length of three guardsmen. How are they meant to live through this? Crack missile getting shots in. Now that's more anti-vehicle that the red team have. Meanwhile, did I hear a grenade over there maybe? How are you guys all buffed? Oh, you have your Warlock buddies. That's emboldened, I guess. Sneaky Farseer infiltrating off the webway. Stormtroopers were also infiltrated, trying to bash power. Wraith Lord on the prowl. Special attack misses. That backhand special attack it has. So the Tenso is splitting his arm here. Which is generally a great way to play as the mid player in a 3v3, but not always easy to do. Depends on your army a lot of the time. Guarding weapon team here is very low, but does get away. Back to this Wraith Lord. Ouch. Big swings. That splash damage is scything through those Stormtroopers. They do make it out though. 268 to 211. Farseer's level 2. Mid is still red. They've held it for a while, haven't they? Inferno Pistol getting shots in. Judgment is up on a Wraith Lord too. Sentinel backs off. There's a grenade. They tried to dodge it. One of them had to run. Cracked missile still getting shots in. Can't tie up the Sentinel, of course. Doesn't have a melee attack, so if you start smacking it in melee, it's still going to shoot at you. Wraith Lord now being repaired by the Guardians. Does it have vision, that Sentinel? I guess not. They can't shoot at it. Oh, there we go. Shoulder-mounted shuriken, by the way. Now they're on frag missiles to do that versus infantry. Hell Fury strike dropped in by the Inquisitor. Tried to set it up with a shotgun blast oLev there, but wasn't perfectly placed. Spotters running from the mid. Dice roll spotters on the... Oh wow, they're pinned all the way back by Novacyt. These Wraith Guard giving some problems, I guess. Wraith Guard have these Wraith cannons. Massive damage to all targets from relatively short range. They also suppress infantry and deal damage in an area of effect. They are terrifying against blobs of infantry such as Guardsmen. Against all infantry, really. But Guardsmen really struggled to stand against it. Look at that. Just turned into bits. Here comes the Lord Commissar, gets in. But he's shut down now by the Shuriken Cannon. Also the Immolator coming up. Eldar looking quite strong now. 253 to 178. oLev has a Leman Russ. Dice roll with a Stormlord on the way. Do they have time to pull this out? Look how blue the map is. Look how blue that map is. No Chimera, no Ogrins. I mean, we did see oLev get double Stormtroopers out in Tier 2, but the other players got no Tier 2 units up. Here's that Leman Russ. Needs to do a hell of a lot for oLev here. Another Leman Russ on the way from MUERTE. Do the Guard have time to recover their position here? Blackjack with incoming. Seer Council on the field for Angel. I mean, Eldar haven't rested. They're at Tier 3 as well. Only the Tenso is still in Tier 2, and that's because they got that Wraith Lord up, which costs a chunk of power. Leman Russ goes straight after it, as you would expect. Here's the melter guns as well. It's not going to survive, I don't think. Artillery Spotter is trying to grab the mid. Or is it going to survive? The Leman Russ backed off. Lord General couldn't chase, and here comes some Howling Banshees alongside a Seer Council. Catechins in play here. Buffed up by that Lord General with Fight Harder and incoming. And you know what? They did a great job there on that Seer Council. Great job. Disrupted them And the double stormtroopers wade in with some fire. Here come Wraith Guard though. Dangerous to everything. Can bust up tanks pretty good, but that Leman Russ getting good shots in. Single cap for the Eldar. Stormlord hits the field. It needs to get to the mid really quick. Really quick. Here's that other Leman Russ from MUERTE. Novacyt had some Seer Council, cancels them, and now goes for the Avatar. The Tenso goes tier 3 as well. Right Lance in play. Anti-vehicle weapon to hunt down the Leman Russ. Done some good work already, this Leman Russ. Big chunk of XP. Now it's taking Bright Lance shots though. The other Leman Russ is shooting. Seems to be shooting at random though. I don't think they're targeting the Bright Lance. Maybe they are. Their models got all mixed up. Inferno, Judgment went down on the Bright Lance as well. There's that Wraith Lord. I can't believe it survived. And Purgatus in play for the Inquisitor. That could help in the mid. The mid is now red. But it's still a 2-1. Oh, now it's a 2-1 for the red team. Oh, they have this one. That's right. Yeah, looks like oLev is going to be able to reinforce it quite well here. Got that Vanquisher Leman Russ. Multi-laser turret up. A couple of Stormtroopers. That Lord General with his buffs. Should be able to focus down the Farseer quite well here. I think that's what they should do. Looks like they're trying to focus down the Seer Council though. There's Purgatus. Nicely timed. Right. Got the ring right on the Seer Council blob there. That was beautifully done by MUERTE. Farseer goes down. Hammer of the Witches on retreat path there. That was quite nasty. There's that Stormlord. That Vulcan Mega Bolter. 100 DPS Inferno PvP. Huge damage to that Wraith Guard. And looks like the Wraith Lord goes down. Heavy turret in the mid. 205 to 55. Wraith Lord blowing up. oLev creeping forward. Has the Commissar retinue fella now, which gives him this very handy shield. I believe it's 55% damage resist from range damage, which is pretty amazing. Makes him quite tanky. Ouch. His retinue buddies got obliterated by double grenades though. Have the Guard done this? 180 to 55. They only need to hold 2 VPs. Doing a good job of it so far. And on the west, they're not resting around. They're capping stuff. Here's the Avatar for Novacyt. The Tenso with a Fire Prism up. Is that a good choice? With 2 Leman Russes already in play. Well, they do have double Bright Lances already, the blue team. So maybe they feel like they don't need more Bright Lances or dedicated anti-vehicle. Fire Prism will allow them to disrupt infantry that's trying to cap and stuff. Thought we were going to see a D-cannon though. 141 to 55. I mean, they do have a Stormlord to chew through, so is there such thing as too much or enough anti-vehicle? This Fire Prism's potentially in huge trouble. The heavy turret, the Sentinel, the 2 Leman Russes, and they're both Vanquishers too. Any one of those things will rip apart the Fire Prism if it gets in range. Have to turn into the shotgun blast and they retreat. 124 to 55. Retreat grenades get it done. Nicely done by the Tenso. Down goes the Fire Prism. That was so quick. I guess it was the Inferno Pistol and that Leman Russ. That was nuts. Got some Kashyyyk in here with plasma guns in hand. These guys can switch their guns at any time. They're specialized weapons. Down goes that Fire Prism. Inquisitor really doing some good work late game here. Right, this Stormlord should be able to do really good damage to the Avatar. It's got super heavy infantry armor, so it takes extra from the Vulcan Mega Bolter. Look at that damage. Needs to just get the hell out of there. Got 5,600 hit points, and it looked like that burst of the Mega Bolter took like a quarter of its health bar. Baneblade on the way now for MUERTE. The Tenso down to 2 units. I think the Guard have done enough, you know. I called into question those tier 3s, but they were perfectly timed, it turns out. The Leman Russes came out. They made a huge difference in the mid. It's GG, they say. Novacyt did so well on the west side. Was pushing through a lot. oLev did do some great work on the east side, though. They were never down and out. They were pressuring this power a lot. In fact, it's decapped right now. They got those Lemans fast at the Tenso. Yeah, they did. I thought that Fire Prism was an odd choice. Maybe just a bunch of Wraith Guard up would have been good. Just like double Wraith Guard in the mid with Crack Shot would have done some work. And of course the odd guide going in with Doom and stuff. Heavy Gauge Death Spinner was in play at the end. We have a level 3 Warlock. Did have the Warp Throw. The Warp Spider Exarch level 2. Level 2 Farseer at the end with Armor of Fortune and Runes of Reaping. Level 2 Lord Commissar. Had the Fist of Brockus up. MUERTE, the Inquisitor, who came in really good late game, did some awesome work with that Purgatus level 6 and a level 6 Lord General from the ever solid oLev. Well, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. It was a fun one. The Guard came back strong, got their tier 3s rolling, and the Eldar just couldn't stop it. Thanks to the Tenso for hosting this game and sending in the replay. Thanks to these players for taking part, and thanks to you guys for watching. I'll see ya next time.